Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now August 18th of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that, yes, we do know that they are now currently in a phase of desperation and damage control to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to this massive Star Wars brand. Essentially, what Bob Iger and Chaypek are aiming to do with this Star Wars franchise is that they really want to make it an ever-evolving franchise. They want to borrow a lot from Star Wars legends. They also want to embrace original stories completed on their own. And not just that, but they're also looking into fan feedback more than ever before in comparison to the Kathleen Kennedy era of Star Wars. Now, given that we have a new Star Wars trilogy on the way, spin-off films that are going to be released in theaters, and we've also got a handful of Star Wars TV shows in the works over at Disney Plus that's really going to expand the Star Wars library. So that just tells you right then and there exactly what Disney is essentially trying to do with the franchise. They're very ambitious and they're very goal-driven when it comes to really kind of recapturing the experience of Star Wars created by George Lucas and trying to really bring back many of the lost fans of the sequel trilogy, because let's face it here, I mean, a lot of fans walked away from Star Wars after The Last Jedi and especially after Episode 9. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting all has to do with actor Keanu Reeves for the new Star Wars universe and more. Now, specifically with Bob Iger and Bob Chapek now working on the new Star Wars trilogy of movies, they are currently focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films and the universe in general, of how they will deliver a brand new mythology to the Star Wars franchise. Now, it's described that as of right now, Kevin Feige of Marvel has been developing the structure of the roadmap of the new Star Wars films for the new universe, and that Disney is in the process of hiring actor Keanu Reeves to become a part of the Star Wars franchise. It's explained that Disney aims to make Keanu Reeves a Sith King on the world of Exegol in the new Star Wars trilogy in either the first or second film, depending on Keanu's schedule with John Wick 4, John Wick 5, and yes, The Matrix 4. So in case you guys are out of the loop, Keanu Reeves is a very busy man. You know, he just completed not too long ago the Bill and Ted 3 movie, and that's pretty much out in theaters. We've also got, you know, John Wick 4 on the way, another John Wick 5 movie, and The Matrix 4, so he's very busy. Now, it's explained that Keanu Reeves is aimed to become one of the most powerful Sith Lords seen in the Star Wars franchise, even more powerful than Darth Plagueis in the new Star Wars movies. Creator George Lucas is said to be the one to have created the Sith King character originally for the prequels, before he finalized the story of the prequels with Palpatine, and is using his original ideas for, of course, the fourth Star Wars trilogy, and that Lucas has already been in the talks with Kevin Feige about Keanu Reeves, and that Disney is already beginning the process of hiring Keanu for the new Star Wars movie and the new trilogy overall. Now, this is where things begin to get very intense, is that it's explained that Keanu's character has successfully engaged with the use of time travel by using the Worlds Between Worlds as a piece of knowledge. So the Worlds Between Worlds is going to be a main focus point in this new Star Wars trilogy. This was an idea first created by Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni is going to have somewhat of a hand in how the Worlds Between Worlds will be used in these new Star Wars movies that Keanu Reeves is formatted for. Now, of course, the history of the Jedi, the Sith, and the entire power of the Force are said to be the Sith King's capability of really having this intelligence. Now, the films will also tap into the origin of the galaxy and how it was created by the Wills, where the Wills, who are godlike creatures or beings, are said to hold a major connection with Keanu's character in a past side story that will be told in the new movies. Now, it's further noted that the Sith King will first be revealed in a series of comics and books early next year of 2021, with, of course, his curved lightsaber blade before the movies arrive into theaters in order to make the fans familiar with the character. Also, there is a video game in the works that is going to focus on the Sith King of Exegol and the Sith Eternal, making it yet another video game in the franchise to take place in a brand new era for the fans to witness. It's described that George Lucas is in the process of of hiring Keanu Reeves, since he will be calling the shots on casting decisions for the new trilogy of movies, and even the spin-off films that are currently in the early development phase. Now, here's the more important thing that I think a lot of fans really need to know, is that, yes, the Sith King is going to be by far one of the most unique Star Wars villains that we have actually yet to witness. This villain is not only going to have a unique lightsaber blade, the actual blade itself, not the hilt, is going to be curved. Now, obviously, a lot of fans are going to question themselves, how is that possible? Well, it's a movie at the end of the day. Things are meant to be possible to that sense, but on a more technical scale, I'm sure that they're going to get into it and exactly how the lightsaber hilt is able to emit a blade that can actually curve. So that's going to be an interesting take. With Darth Maul, we got the double blade. With Kylo Ren, we got the crossguard. And now we're getting the latest addition, a curved lightsaber blade. Now, the other thing that I think is very intriguing about this is the fact that we have Kevin Feige already moving along very well with structuring or really laying the groundwork for the new Star Wars universe when it comes to the movies strictly. So Kevin Feige of Marvel, alright, he made Marvel successful, but it was really Jon Favreau who started everything from the very start with Iron Man 1 back in 2008. And the fact that we have Kevin Feige really calling the shots as well on how everything is going to be structured from this point on forward, it just goes to show you that Disney is very much ambitious. What they want to do is that they really want to make the fans happy. Keanu Reeves, let me just say one thing right here, is that I can see him in Star Wars. This makes a lot of sense. This man is a very busy man. He's getting into a lot of other franchises as well, besides the John Wick verse, or the Matrix verse, if you will. They're really trying to expand on those two franchises, but he is also in talks to make a leading role in a new Marvel movie. We do know that Kevin Feige is trying to get him on board with Marvel as well. And obviously, Star Wars is going to be the main thing that Disney wants to acquire him with first, because they really want Star Wars to become stronger than ever fast, in just as little as 3 years, give or take. So, like I've said before in the past, Keanu Reeves, very talented actor, very much could play or portray a villain, which is what they're aiming for, the Sith King. Makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, we haven't really seen Keanu Reeves all that much as a villain, quote-unquote, per se. I mean, you could technically count The Day the Earth Stood Still, but not really. We haven't seen all that many, movies out there where Keanu Reeves is essentially the villain. He mainly is an actor that likes to portray a hero or something around those lines, right? Or an anti-hero at that, or a vigilante. But we've never seen him as a full-fledged, villain per se, to the point where it's going to be very menacing and to the point where it's on the level of Palpatine, you name it. So, like I said before in the past, when we look at everything related to Star Wars, this is definitely a step in the right direction. This just tells us that Disney is getting a better idea of who to cast for certain roles in their movies. Choosing Keanu Reeves for the Sith King of Exegol makes a lot of sense. And this really also connects to the Rise of Skywalker and makes, a lot of unanswered questions come into light here. In Episode 9, you do see the world of Exegol, you see the Sith Eternal, you see the throne that once belonged to the Sith King, but we never got to see the Sith King in a flashback, or even were able to we never even really learned about the Sith King at all. That's the main thing, is that when you think about it, in the past here, there's really little to no mention of the Sith King. There's a little drop of information about him in the novelization here and there, but not all that much on a personal scale. And that's exactly what Disney wants to complete here with, of course, these new Star Wars movies. They want to tell new tales about the Sith King of Exegol, which I think is going to be a very interesting take on Star Wars, to say the least. Very menacing character from what it seems. The fact that he's going to be more powerful than Darth Plagueis, more knowledgeable than Palpatine and Plagueis combined, because of his use with the worlds between worlds and learning aspects of the past. I honestly cannot wait, and I think a lot of fans are in for a treat based on what, Disney is trying to do and what they're aiming for. So like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.